Yo, what's going on, guys? Rover Sports coming back. Rover Sports. It's been a long week. I've been away from my studio here, and it's just been a long week, to say the least. Everything's going fine, but I'm just out here actually in another state. I don't want to give too many details, like on the location, but I haven't been near the studio, so it's harder to upload videos, and my YouTube again is malfunctioning a bit, so we have to go from circumnavigate the system a little bit. Or I would have done a live stream on everything Janoris. I mean, the off season, I mean, this channel is mostly about 49ers, so we have a Reuben Foster situation going down where the girlfriend's just going crazy and almost ruins the guy's life. And now we have Janoris Jenkins in this whole dead body thing, which is something that none of us are probably going to forget forever, because it's just the most bizarre story, and everybody's even afraid to report on it because it is such a touchy story in general. It's the most touchy story. But let's get into something that's so much lighter, something that I need after giving out the Janoris story, and that's Jimmy Garoppolo. So Jalen Ramsey, guy who won't shut up ever. He's just talks. And listen, I like Jalen Ramsey. You know why? He makes football entertaining. And he also doesn't play for a franchise like Seattle. Like Richard Sherman, I didn't like him in Seattle because they're actually a threat. Like they're actually a pretty big market team. The 12th man of the Seattle Seahawks annoyed the living daylights out of me. I couldn't stand Sherman, Earl Thomas, the Legion of Boom, because they were legit. They were a scary defense, and if you watch them go up against Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl, you saw just how dominant this team was. And whenever someone would go to Seattle, they would just get killed. But Jalen Ramsey, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been nothing throughout my entire childhood and really throughout their entire existence. And now they're turning the corner. They have Tom Coughlin in charge, a guy that really, as a New York Giants fan, I'm totally down with. They play a classic brand of football, and it's Jacksonville. It's a small market. The fans have never had anything. Every Jags fan I meet is a good person, and it's rare to even meet Jags people. The Seahawks fans are everywhere. I'm not just saying that because, 49ers and because I have a lot of Niners fans. But Sherman and the Seahawks, it's different than Jalen Ramsey. But the fact is now, Jalen Ramsey, I appreciate you. I do appreciate you, Jalen, because you're giving me a video, you're giving me some material, because now you're analyzing my guy, Jimmy G. Now, with all the other guys, when they're asked about Jimmy G, they'll say the PC thing of Jimmy G's a talented quarterback. He was tough to go up against. He's 7-0. You can't stop the guy. But Jalen Ramsey, he speaks his mind, and for that, I appreciate you. But Jalen Ramsey is dead wrong. Case Keenum is in the top 60 for the top 100 list. And he's coming out here with the audacity to say that Jimmy G is not a top 100 player when he completely changed the entire culture in San Francisco. There would be no Richard Sherman if Jimmy G was not instated. The 49ers would have to draft a quarterback. It might be Sam Darnold. It might be Josh Rosen. Jimmy G has the combination of leadership, and Jimmy G has the combination of the quickest release. Even Richard Sherman has said quickest release he's ever seen. And the thing that Jalen Ramsey said that is so frustrating is Jalen Ramsey said that Jimmy Garoppolo was a product of Kyle Shanahan's system. What is this, what is this, like freaking NBA basketball and a product of the Warrior system? I mean, the Niners and Kyle Shanahan's system, they didn't win any ball games. And I got to say this to Jimmy Garoppolo. Whatever dang system you're running, keep running that system. The fact that he's a system quarterback, he throw it 40 times for over 330 yards? He was completely going after the middle of that field, going after Puzzleski, Miles Jack. He hit Trent Taylor on the throw going to his left. That's a top 100 throw. I mean, they needed to win that game, Jacksonville, and Jacksonville got rocked by Jimmy Garoppolo in that second. They got rocked by Jimmy G, and if not for that interception in the back of the end zone that Garoppolo threw, or a bogus drive by Blake Bortles, that game was ready to be over in the first half of that football game. That's how much better the San Francisco Niners were than Jacksonville. The fact that he's calling him a system quarterback, every quarterback in the NFL should have plays that are designed to make you look good. And if Jimmy G, if he's always going to be the quarterback that takes the 5 yards over the middle, so be it. I respect Jimmy G even more for not going after Jalen Ramsey because he's not an idiot. He's going to go after the weakness of the Jacksonville defense. For him to say that it was a product of the system and it was a basic system, you should be able to shut that down then with Todd Wash, man. A product of a system. What the heck does that sentence even mean? And I want that damn system next year. I want that system when Jimmy G is 42 years old. I want that system because the way that game was called, it was beautiful. And what, does Jalen Ramsey think that Kyle Shanahan now is not going to control this offense and Jimmy G's just going to freelance and then he'll be a top 100 player because then he's going to not play in a system that's tailored for him? I think he's jealous. He would take his quarterback, Blake Bortles, throwing in that system. Jalen Ramsey, it's just sometimes when you're Jalen, about 8 out of 10 things I love from Jalen Ramsey. I love the guarantees. I love the trash talk. So this isn't a Jalen Ramsey hate video. Jalen Ramsey makes the NFL better for everyone involved. He's brought a life to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and his play on the field, I mean, he is one of the most talented corners from a size and speed standpoint. He does back up the talk, he does. But when he's going after Jimmy G, going after Garoppolo, and saying he's a system quarterback, that's going to be a YouTube video, and that's something that I'm going to jump on every chance. So I appreciate you, Jalen, making that video, man, because first of all, Jalen and Jacksonville Jags fans and UCF, I have you guys going 3-13 next year, 4-12. I have you guys drafting in the top 5. I have you guys going to Nashville, going to Tennessee Titans land, and I have you guys being one of the first teams to pick in the 2019 draft because I think you guys are Doug Marrone and a flash in a pan. Prove me wrong, prove the Niners wrong, and get back to winning playoff games. You guys beat Buffalo. Congratulations. You guys out-schemed Mike Tomlin. The Steelers took you lightly, and they played horrible. And I'll give you credit for an incredible win against the Steelers. Playing Buffalo, that was one of the weakest teams to ever get into the AFC playoffs. And then you guys totally slumped down the stretch, lost to Tennessee, had a division where you had Andrew Luck, had Mike Mularkey. Let's see how you guys fare against Tennessee and Houston this year, all right? Let's see how y'all do. Thank you, Rover Sports. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Cheers. Good night.